Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are back with another Samurai Jack episode review. Today we'll be covering Samurai Jack Season 5, Episode 5. So sorry that this video is actually out late. Samurai Jack aired yesterday, so it's really not that late, but still, sorry that I couldn't get it out a little bit earlier. I could not find the episode, yesterday. I couldn't find it streaming on Adult Swim. I couldn't find it streaming on Toonami. It just wasn't popping up for me at all. And I tried to go on other streaming sites, didn't find it. So, yeah. Unless I can, watch it on Toonami on the television screen, I would be able to view Samurai Jack, but I wouldn't be able to get a thumbnail for the video. You get what I'm saying? Unless I take, a snapshot of, of it on my phone, but even then I wouldn't be able to get the exact, part of the episode that I want to use for the thumbnail, or I wouldn't be even able to, record the episode because my TV can't do that. We can't record the episode, so yeah, there's that. So that's why I have to watch Samurai Jack and various other media online for that specific reason. But anyway, we're getting off topic. Let's go ahead and review Samurai Jack Season 5, Episode 5. In the beginning of this episode, I got hype as fuck because you all know why. You all know why. One of the most iconic characters from the original series of Samurai Jack makes a return. The Scotsman. That is right, people. The Scotsman finally returns. But then I was very surprised because he gets freaking annihilated by Aku in this episode. He just freaking gets lasered. He's like, I'm gonna take you on, you lingering oaf. Oh, that old, Scottish old accent that he has. He's like, I'm gonna take you on, you little oaf. Come at me with everything you got, with him in a wheelchair and whatnot. And freaking Aku is just like, yeah. So yeah, freaking annihilates the dude. His skeleton shows, man. And then apparently he comes back to life via Celtic magic from his sword. So in actuality, he's dead, but not dead. And his overall goal right now is to basically raise an army to stop Aku. But in order to do that, they must first find Samurai Jack. But I gotta say, seeing the Scotsman back in the series, it was just so awesome. I got hype as fuck. I was like, yo, my boy. And I'm pretty sure a lot of other fans of the series of Samurai Jack really got hyped up during that beginning part of the episode because that was great. But at the same time, it made us quite sad because apparently he died. But then again, we weren't that sad because, he is still in the series. Now, this episode, mainly, I would say, kind of focused on Ashi, just at least in my personal opinion. We do see Samurai Jack and also Ashi, basically go on this mission in order to stop, this sort of robotic guy taking over this alien species that literally looks like, Wookiees, from Star Wars. And apparently it has, the robotic guy has led them to a facility in which the children are took to this facility to ultimately be controlled as minions for Aku. And I guess to also be used as slave labor as well. And that's where basically the episode, reaches its climax. We pretty much have Ashi and Samurai Jack fighting off, these little children just to try to get away from them, and then Ashi has to take on, because she ends up getting captured by the robotic leader. And basically, if you think about it, Ashi was technically the spotlight of this episode. She really, got development in this episode rather than Jack. Of course, Jack, it's going to be a while until he actually makes his development and actually takes on Aku. But Ashi was mainly the main focus of this episode of Samurai Jack, at least in my personal opinion, because she actually fought and made some sort of development to actually help Samurai Jack, but she also fought, the robotic leader and got away from him. She started to see how Jack is actually this innocent guy, and that Aku is mainly pretty much, you know, destroying everything, destroying the lives of other species, destroying the lives of nature and shit. She is actually starting to see that shit now, and while she's at the facility, while she's captured, Jack, on the other hand, he can't do jack shit because he is literally being chased by these, you know, different alien species, as I said before, that look like Wookiees, and they completely have gone batshit insane, you know. They're completely chasing Jack. They are ravaging beasts, you know. If he gets caught by them, he's going to be teared to shreds. And there were actually several instances in which he might have, he probably should have, I mean, we did see a couple scratches from him, but knowing Samurai Jack, he is able to get out of these situations. But really, he couldn't do anything. I mean, he has no sword, he has no weapons at his disposal. All he really knows is his combat experience. But even then, he could not fight back the children. He could not even knock them out, bring them to their senses, so to speak, because they were just ultimately controlled, and he couldn't do anything about it. He was mainly the decoy in this episode, while Ashi pretty much got the spotlight. And then, of course, by the end of this episode, Samurai Jack, with the help of Ashi, actually ends up stopping the threat that Samurai Jack was facing, which was the Wookiee children. I know these are probably not called the Wookiee children and whatnot, and we probably have seen, you know, these children in, you know, the original series of Samurai Jack. And correct me if I'm wrong on what exactly the species is called, but because of the fact that I don't know what the species is called, I'm gonna go ahead and call them the Wookiee species. So just bear with me. But it seemed like as though they all died, and that's what Jack ultimately knew. And I knew firsthand that these, you know, kids wouldn't be, you know, dead because of the fact that, you know, they had transmitters, they had chips planted in them, which made them get chaotic, you know. But Samurai Jack really did not know this. He thought that basically they have been completely taken over, and that's when he screamed and said, "Fuck, more people are dying by my hands. Why can't I save anyone?" And then that is when we see this other samurai appear out of nowhere, which is pretty much the samurai that we have seen in previous episodes at least once. You know, the ghostly image of that samurai. And I'm trying to really perceive as to what this could be as far as what it's telling us for Samurai Jack, because obviously this is something that Jack is seeing. You know, he is talking to himself. It's like he has schizophrenia. He's actually seeing these things, talking to himself, thinking that that thing is actually there, you know. And I'm just trying to figure out what is gonna go on. Like, is he gonna go fucking batshit insane as well? Is he gonna completely lose control as to who he is? Is he gonna commit suicide? You know, something like that. Because, I mean, the guy did state it is time, and then he says yes. And from what we know, you know, from at least this episode, Jack even states there is no way to stop Aku, so why is there, you know, a point in even trying? So, I mean, Jack probably has this thing on his mind. I mean, you know, who knows? He could probably be thinking of committing suicide or some shit. I mean, this series of Jack is dark, and I know that's a pretty dark topic, but this series of Jack has gone dark, you know, for its viewers. Because, I mean, the show is quite a bit old, you know. And it's even lucky that we even got another season, and technically the series has grown up alongside with its viewers, so that's why it's meant to be dark. So I wouldn't really, you know, doubt this factor, and maybe Ashi is basically the one that's going to wake him up, you know. But I'm just very curious as to when Jack is actually going to get his sword back. I really am interested when he's going to get that, but yeah, it turns out that the Wookiee-like children were actually still alive, especially what happens to Ashi, but apparently now the two are separated, so now it's going to be up to her to ultimately find him and what he's planning to do. So, I don't know. Well, I don't know. we'll see where it goes, but it does seem like basically this ghostly like samurai is, I would say, something that Jack is seeing through himself. I mean, again, he is hallucinating. He most likely has schizophrenia, especially all the post-traumatic, you know, stuff that has gone right in front of him from, you know, thousands of people dying by the hands of Aku, and he takes that guilt, and he's probably thinking of committing suicide because of the fact that he, you know, doesn't know exactly what to do. He thinks there is no hope whatsoever, and I ultimately believe that this ghostly-like samurai who is haunting Jack is basically his own thoughts. You know, obviously this thing isn't real, but it has gone to the point where, you know, Samurai Jack does not know what to do whatsoever, and I'm pretty sure he is going to commit suicide, or at least thinking about that. It's kind of like that lingering thing in the back of your mind. You know, that's basically what this ghostly like samurai represents. It's not something that I think, you know, is going to, like, you know, make him go berserk. I mean, you know, that's a possibility, but it seems rather likely that this is something that, you know, is going to go a little bit of a darker route when it comes to what is going to happen to him. So, yeah, I mean, those are at least my overall thoughts and speculations on what that thing could be regarding Jack, but let me know your thoughts in the comments down below about that. How did you all like the episode? I thought this was a pretty good episode as well, and just seeing the Scotsman back again, like, fantastic, fantastic. 10 out of 10 just for that factor. But yeah, man, I'm glad he's back. I'm still glad he's in the series, and it looks like later on we're going to see the Scotsman's army. You know, actually, basically, we're probably all going to see, you know, the remaining species in the series of Samurai Jack actually all get together, and then they are all going to fight off Aku, while ultimately Jack is going to help alongside them with, of course, the magical sword. But first, we have to get to that point. First, we have to see if he will ever get his sword. But yeah, again, let me know your overall thoughts in the comments down below, how you all enjoyed this episode. Did you like it? What are you really looking forward to in next week's episode of Samurai Jack? And also, what do you possibly think about that ghostly-like samurai that haunts Samurai Jack, that's been haunting him in pretty much every episode thus far? Like, do you agree with my statement, or do you have a different sort of theory as to what that is? Just let me know your overall thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. Stay up to date for my future content by hitting that red subscribe button down below, and you will never miss a video from me. That about does it for this video, guys. Thank you all for watching. I will see you all in the next video.